What is going on, guys? My name is Micah, and this is going to be the 20th video in this 2D iPhone game programming series. In this video, we are going to actually incorporate our GameData class in our MyScene implementation file so that we actually get this high score functionality that we want. So, to start, we are going to go into our MyScene implementation file. We are going to import the GameData class. Then we're going to go down to the load score labels method, and we're going to create a new GameData object. So we're going to just call this, okay, having issues here, data equals GameData data. Now I don't think we actually added the data constructor here to our header file, so we can't call that yet. So we're going to add that in there, as well as the save and the load method. So we'll do save and load, just so we can access those outside the class. So we can save those two things, go into MyScene. Now we have our game data loaded up. So now that we've initialized our data object, what the load method does in our game data class is it loads that high score property from the data file. So we'll do data load. Now the data.highscore property should have that data loaded into it. And now if we haven't actually run a save method on this game data class, the data.highscore method isn't going to be initialized yet, but that's okay because the default initialization is 0, so this data.highscore is just going to be 0 if we haven't called that save method yet. So we don't actually have to set that to 0 at any point. So now we can go to our high score label where we initialized it. We can initialize it. We can do high score label set points to data.highscore. So now whatever is loaded into that high score property in our game data class is going to go and be set on our high score label. So awesome. Now we need to actually get the data to save. So we're going to go down to the game over method, which jumps into the update high score method. We're going to go into this if statement right here. I'm going to say if the points label is higher than the high score label. Remember, we already had the data load into the high score label, so we don't have to actually check the high score outside this if statement just yet. So we can do this, and so if it's greater, we want to grab that game data again, so we're going to initialize a new object, game data data, and we're going to do data save. So this is going to save the high score in our data object to the data file. There's one more thing we need to do though that's pretty key here. We need to set the data's high score to the current point label number. So we're going to do data.highscore equals points label.number, and now we have that data object all ready to save and we're good to go. So now we can run this and the behavior that we want should be working here. It says data is null here, but that's okay. That's what I was talking about, how it's just going to be initialized at 0. So we're going to get 1 point, we're going to die, the high score label updates itself, tap to reset, and it looks like that high score label maintains its value there. So we can even change that, we can get 2 instead of 1, it updates itself, restart, and the high score is still there. Even if we exit out of this and like pass between these screens so that it enters the background, we can click back on it, and that high score is still going to be saved there. So that is going to be it for this video. We are pretty much done with most of the functionality of this game. This is going to be a couple more videos. I think I'm going to cover sound effects, because adding sound effects to games really brings life to them and actually makes them a lot more fun. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.